Congratulations into the fourth round. What did you make of the overall performance, though?
I thought we started really brightly, played some nice football, got in behind them, created chances, got the first goal, and after 15-20 minutes it seemed like the balloon popped, and they came into the game. We gave them confidence, and they really gave us a good game.
Because good movement, good rotation for that early period. You had 75% possession, but what did go wrong?
Then we started giving them the ball back easily. Yeah, we tried to complicate it. Maybe one or two men out of position, and then suddenly they counter-attack. And when you got Andre Gray or Ismail Assar running at you, you're always going to have the heart way up here.
You gave Scott McTominay the responsibility of captaincy tonight.
Yeah.
Delivered, didn't he?
He did. He always does. He's a leader. But I thought maybe today we give it to him to see how he reacts wearing the armband. He's always out there leading the way, but brilliant today.
He reacted exactly as you'd expect, I suppose. It's a sign of trust in him, though.
Yeah, well, we've always trusted our young men coming through, and Scott's one of them that we really believe that's got the DNA of Man United in him, and he knows what it is to be a Man United player. And
we saw Jesse Lingard out there for the first time since September. What did you make of his performance? He's 28 now. He's kind of at that crossroads of his career at United.
Yeah, he's been out for a while, but Jesse started brightly as well, and then as you expect towards the end. He was a little bit tired, so I just put Nemanja on just to secure the game there.
What's the news on Eric Bailly?
It's his neck, I think. So his head's fine, but I've not spoke to him. But there's no concussion or something like that. So
it's a huge week ahead, of course. You've got Burnley Tuesday, you can go top, and then it's Liverpool next weekend. So was that part of the plan today? You know, the team you picked, is that balance?
Of course, it's the whole season in one. It's like. I don't think many teams. I think we're the only team that's got a midweek game last week and midweek game next week. So we just had to rotate, and the boys got us a result.
Thank you, Ollie.
Thank you.
Scott, you're through, job done, but maybe not as decisive as it threatened to be early on.
No, we started really well, and then I felt for the first half an hour we were really good. We moved the ball. Some of the combination play that we did have with the front boys, as well as Donny joining in as well, was really, really good. And then we just didn't find it after that. We didn't have it as the first half an hour, and then after the second half, I didn't think we played anywhere near to our level. And obviously for the boys who are coming into the team, it's difficult. They haven't played for a long time, and the manager said get your rhythm. And first 30 minutes, I bet he wasn't expecting the rhythm that we got. And then obviously maybe tired legs, tired minds, not played for some time. So no, it's a credit to the boys.
And you got the armband tonight for the first time. That must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, obviously for me, when the manager told me, it was a surreal moment. Obviously been at this club since I was just turned 5 years old, so basically 18 years, 19 years associated with the football club. So for me, that's a huge honour and something that I absolutely love, this football club, and it's been my life for my whole life. So yeah, it's a real honour.
Oh, some players are inspired by the responsibility. We think we saw that early on, didn't we?
Yeah, obviously we work a lot on set pieces, both for and against, so to see one of them going, it's something we've worked on, especially with Eric, the second one. I feel like we caught him off guard as well. So no, we've got a lot of different variations for that, and obviously I need to start scoring more headers. I'm 6'3".
But also that armband is a sign of the faith the manager has in you, and of course Harry Maguire wrestled it off at half time. But
yeah, no, of course. For the manager, he's been nothing but amazing for me since he's come to the club, and I have a lot to thank him for. But the best way of thanking him is putting in performances on the pitch for this club and doing your best that you possibly can do. So no, for me, just as long as I've got the manager's trust, I'm happy doing my job every single day and training and matches as well.
And the next few days are vital, pivotal in the season. Perhaps you could go top on Tuesday, and then it's Liverpool next week.
Yeah, it's a squad game, as you see tonight. There's players who haven't played, so Tuesday I'm sure they'll be changed again. Liverpool will be changed again. So everybody's so ready for the chance, and I feel like you've seen that with Jesse, with Donny, with guys like that tonight. Dan James in the first half, Jesse was so good, and he was causing real problems, and it's a credit to him because he's had a tough time, Jesse, and I'm so pleased for him today.
Well done, thank you.
Top man. Thank you very much.
Well done to him. A big week for them, a big night for him as well. He played very well indeed. It's an interesting one when you get the captaincy. It's not just about how you are as a player, it's about how you are as a person. And Ollie's spoken about the culture he's trying to create. So that's an absolute feather in his cap that he's the guy that got the nod.
Yeah, it is. And you can see in the way he conducts himself, but more importantly, the way he plays out on the pitch, he's wholehearted. He covers the ground well. He takes responsibility in situations. And you need all that as a captain. You need to be somebody who people can look to and say, actually, yeah, I can see there's someone I'd like to follow. And he seems to have them sort of traits. He's a young lad still. But he's been at the club since he was 5 years old, as he said. Yeah. So he knows the fabric of the club and what it means to be a main.
He also said he has to score more headers. Yeah,
he maybe, but he attacks it really well there. And again, it's two movements to get onto the end of this, and it's not. There's a lot of thinking behind that, but also there's a desire to get on the end of things, and he has all of that. And I think, listen, he has the credentials, I think, to be a mainstay in this team and to be a real important member of this team for years and years to come, because of the way he applies himself. It's not just about football ability sometimes. There's more to it than that. Your mental capacity to take things on board, but also the ability to go out there and accept responsibility and be the man that people look to for that inspiration. And he seems to be doing that more and more week in, week.
What do you still want to see from him, though? What do you want more of? I mean, we can see some of his moments this evening. Is he impressed?
I just think it's a level of consistency. I think as a young player, you're always going to see glimpses of it. But I think it's about continuing this. He's in a good vein of form at the moment. He's almost certainly now become one of the main players in that midfield area, I would say. And I think that he's someone I think that Ollie could build around in that respect. He's not the one who you'd say is the most imaginative or the person you'd say has got the most skills, but there's other things that he brings to the game that a lot of the other players don't bring, and that is that intensity, that work rate, the effort, and importantly, the responsibility that he takes on, because these type of things here, when he tracks back, he covers Maguire who's out of position, that's fantastic midfield play. And as a centre-back as I was, you appreciate that, and covering them gaps when they're left open, and that's important.
And he's right to say that it's not easy to find your rhythm when you have a lot of players that haven't.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's a very mature way of looking at it, and it's a fact. I think a lot of these young players and the players on the peripherals of the first team 11 want to come in and use this game like this today as a launch pad to get into the team. And yes, some players didn't probably get to the heights they would like to have, but again, you've got to take into consideration, and many of them haven't played any minutes or played at all this season. So getting minutes, getting some work into your body is good, but again, you want to perform and you want to showcase what you're about.
Let's talk then about some of those fringe players. We spoke about Jesse Lingard in the build-up, second start of the season. You could sort of see his match fitness maybe after about an hour start to struggle. Mason Greenwood's an interesting one. When he went off, he'd had the fewest touches of any outfield player for United. What did you make of both of those two tonight?
I thought they didn't get the ball into the final third and sustain attacks. I thought they got there and had glimpses, whether it was James shooting or whatever. It was just things flashing across. There wasn't no sustain where they penned Watford back and kept them up there for Greenwood then to actually get many touches, get a feel of the ball in and around the final third. That was a disappointment for tonight. But I thought that was more about the team. And Jesse, I thought Jesse started well. I thought Jesse, especially in that first 30 minutes, was very bright, and he does what he always does. He's on the move constantly, plays 1 and 2 touch, and he does like to run beyond. But again, I don't think Manchester United played the game that was enabled him to actually see the best of him in that sense, because getting on the end of things is where I think he's most dangerous. But I think there was some signs that Ollie would have liked in Jesse's performance. But in terms of what you're asking, does it push them into being a part of the first 11 right now? No, because the run that this team are on at the moment, by the last result, means that Ollie doesn't need to really change things right at the moment.
Could be top of the table by midweek.
We'd like to see that, wouldn't we? We would love to see that.
Absolutely, you would. Let's bring Nigel Pearson into the conversation. Nigel, lovely to have you with us this evening. I'm pleased we found you a warm room to watch the game in while we shivered up here.
I'm pleased you're back. I'm freezing.
Right, we won't keep you long then. What did you make of Watford this evening? Seven of the starting 11 played under you, so you would have known them well. What did you make of the performance?
I thought it was promising. There were some good signs. Difficult start. They looked much better when they started to press higher up, front 2, 3 behind, and then Chalobah sort of playing as a front sweeper, and they made it more difficult for Manchester United to play out with as much quality, dangerous from set plays. I think they grew into the game, and it was a bit closer than we probably all thought it was going to be after the first 20 minutes. So, yeah, I think what I've heard about the new coach, Muniz, is very positive. I think he comes with a lot of enthusiasm, positive ideas. And you can see that the players are responding to that. I think now like somebody like myself who's been there and left. It's whether he gets enough time to work through a difficult spell as well. So I think there are some really positive signs, yeah.
Sorry, Nigel, you talk about knowing what it's like to be there, and obviously you was relieved of your duties there. Being relieved of your duties in the way that you was, does it dampen your idea about going back into management, or are you still as hungry as ever to go back into that as a manager? Yeah,
I mean, look, you only go into this sort of job knowing the type of climate that you're working under. And I mean, when I went into Watford, I was very aware of how volatile potentially it is for somebody going in there in my position. So it depends very much on your mindset. And I think one of the things you have to do when you leave a place is to reflect on what happened, whether you feel you've done a good job, what you can do better. But it's done the opposite, actually. It's made me really excited to get another opportunity at some point. But no, I mean, I was very pleased.
Is that because you felt hard done by? Is that because you've felt hard done by in the way that you was dismissed, maybe?
Look, I don't revisiting old ground now. I know that I did a good job there. I know that from where we were when I league, that we did a lot of positive work in turning a very difficult situation around. But the players committed entirely to that, and so it's always going to be a group, a team ethic, an effort to try and get yourself out of a difficult situation. The problem, it always appears from the outside with a club like Watford who choose to have a policy like they do. And look, they're more than entitled to do that, but it's very difficult to build a really positive culture which is long-lasting, has longevity. And I think that's the next step for them.
Yeah. Talking of positive, there was a lovely moment where Will Hughes completed some of his media work behind us, Nigel, just near you, and stopped, had a nice conversation about it. As much as there is a frustration, I'm sure, with not just the fact you lost your job, but the way you lost your job after the great job that you did, I'm sure you still get a thrill from watching these players perform, and they're doing okay in the Championship as well, because your relationship with the players was something that was great from minute one, it felt like.
Yeah, it was, and it was good to see a lot of them tonight, and have contact with them from afar, so to speak. But because when you leave a place and you don't have the opportunity to say goodbye to people, that makes it that bit tougher. But I'm really, Will Hughes, for instance, is a very, very, I think, underrated player. Good to see him back, and. Yeah, I can see some real positive signs, and I wish the club every success. If they can bounce back this year, then it's a good football club for sure. Great fan base who are very, very partisan and supportive, and I think that'll be their aim to get back.
Good man. Well, look, talking of the fan base, when you put football and Twitter side by side, it's very rarely a positive experience. But when you said on Twitter you were joining us for this game, as I said at the top of the show, every single message and every single comment that I saw on that was thanking you for your time there and being positive about you being part of tonight's coverage. So, look, thanks for trekking up here for us and standing out in the cold. It's a pleasure to have you as part of the team.
Yeah, well, I'm really pleased you invited me. Good to get back in the football arena, even though it's not managing. Yeah, great to be back.
Hey, listen, it won't be long, I'm sure. Top man, thanks, Nigel.
All right, cheers. Bye.
Cheers, mate. He'll do a good job for a club again, and you can tell it still hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You can see that there's emotion there. It's still probably raw, and I think as a manager, you want to go out under circumstances where you feel that you've gone as far as you can, and I thought he feels this unfinished business that he had here, definitely. And they weren't he done a good job here. You have to say that. There's no way you can deny that.